Hi there, I'm Danelle. Welcome. I have been an oil painter for, I don't know, about 40 years. And I've recently been trying out a more impressionistic style, trying to loosen up my brush strokes. My usual paintings are colorful, but more not so brushy. They're a little more, I'll show you. This is a good example of a painting that I did a few years ago for a local exhibit. This is a sandhill crane. This is a raven that I did recently, and an octopus. So I get quite a bit of color in there. The drawing is no problem. Drawing was really my original skill that I was good at and that I focused on. But now I am experimenting with getting more brushy, more impressionistic. I did a video, I'll put a card up here, of my painting I did yesterday, maybe the day before yesterday, of our local skunk cabbage, just a really interesting bog flower. And today I decided to repaint a painting that I did for another bird exhibit. Let's see if I can get some good light. This is a short-billed dowitcher that I painted last year, and although I feel like it's technically proficient, which I'm pretty decent at doing that, getting it accurate, I felt like it was kind of stiff, a little bit boring. So today I thought I would use an impressionistic approach to repaint that one. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to just play some music and lead you through my experience. And then at the end, I have some tips that I think will help you to struggle less than I struggled. I have been watching and reading, trying to figure out how to do this best, and I've learned some really good tips. I felt like I implemented some of them pretty well today. I feel like I also struggled in some areas. Stick around to the end where I'll share some tips with you that I think will make this process of making an Alla Prima Impressionistic style painting a little bit easier. It is hard to implement them even if you know them. I had a whole list that I was looking at of tips today, and some of those were easier for me to implement than other things. So anyway, hope you enjoy, and if you have questions, if you have advice, leave those in the comments, and I'd love it if you would like and subscribe. I am really excited about building this new channel, so let's go. So one thing I think I would have changed is to draw that bird a little bit higher up the canvas. That would have given me more room under his feet, where his legs go into the water, to make some interesting ripples. You'll see here in just a bit that I do struggle with getting the background to look interesting, and I did have to go back and look up some photo references to get some better ideas for the background. I do love the way this color is going on really bold though. That looks great. Almost wish I would have left it that way. I also should have started the background right here at this stage so that the bird and the background would be at the same stage. I'd be working on it all at the same time, but as a longtime wildlife painter, pet portrait painter, I could not resist getting some details in there. That's way too soon to get details in there. So I am learning my lessons as I go. And I think I put some more details on here. And then I quickly realized that was a bad idea. The dowitchers have a lot of spots and patterns in their feathers, so it's extremely difficult to resist getting those in there. So now I finally start the background. I do not plan my color. That's another thing with Impressionist or Alla Prima style painting. It is recommended to mix your colors as close as you think they are to accurate before you put them on, so you can put a fresh stroke on and leave it. When I paint, usually over the years, I would put on a coat of paint, let it dry for a few days, and then I go back and change it and adjust it, then let it dry, then I go back and change and adjust. I would mix on the canvas, I would change my mind repeatedly as I would paint. So this is so new for me, and you can see that I'm having a hard time resisting just throwing a color on, seeing what it looks like, and then I have to go back and adjust, and I'm having to go back and adjust the bird, and then I do not like those marks, so they get erased, painted over. So after looking at the reference photo, I saw that some of the photos, there is some grass in the background. The reference photo I was using was just water with some sand that the bird was, the bird's standing in water, but there's just some sand at the edge of the water. So it was a pretty boring background. So I am trying to put in a more interesting background. And that plant turned out really ugly. The color was bad, the shape was bad. So I'm trying to put in little grasses behind him and just futzing around trying to figure out what to do. Next time I do an Alla Prima brushy, fresh type of approach, I will do more planning so I know exactly, or close to exactly, what I want the background to look like, what I want the subject to look like. I'm trying to get some interest in there. The bird is kind of looking cut out against the background, which is what happened the first time I painted this painting. So I'm trying to sort of get the bird and the background to play well together. Putting in some more texture, getting some brighter color. Here I'm changing the colors again because I didn't plan. I'm liking the purple, so I start putting some more purple in. It's a nice contrast with the yellow and the bird. Going back and having to touch up the edges a little, which is expected. So I'm really looking forward to trying more of these, and here's your tips. I hope you enjoyed painting with me. Be creative and have fun.